Grade 6, welcome back from the weekend. New video for you, volume. And if we look at our definitions from last week, area better, the equilibrium added dimension. So width, height, and we measure it in centimeters cubed. Again, it could be meters or meters cubed. There are three measurements to it now. So definition, which is the amount of substance or object occupies within a container. What I think is a fish tank. And the reason that is my brother, growing up, always had fish tanks. He had tropical fish tanks, he had fish tanks. All these fish tanks always maintained water levels and such. So I always have a memory of him filling them up and cleaning them. So it's think of that project, how much water you fit into it. And that's a real application of volume. So the of calculating volume is length times width times height. And if we look here, probably the most straightforward one you're going to get is with an actual cube. So with a cube, all you need is one dimension. And the reason you only need one dimension is because with a square, you know all the sides are the same. So even when it's formed into a cube, your dimensions are going to be the same. So if you think of it as, well, let's do the length up here. Length times width times height, it's going to be 3 times 3 times 3. So you could use a calculator. You could do it in your head first and then double check with the calculator. This isn't a multiplication assignment, so however you do it is fine with me. The formula is the important thing. So if you do 3 times 3 times 3, you're going to get 27. Now, they use an American measurement. I always think of inches as an American measurement. It's still widely used in North America, so it's okay that we see that. But it would be measured in inches cubed, right? Because we're doing 3 measurements. So inches cubed. So over here, this might be a good calculator one because we're dealing with a little bit of a bigger number here. So again, the idea is the same. We have one dimension given, and because this is a cube, we don't need the other 2 filled in. We know they're going to be the same, so the length will be 8, the width will be 8, the height will be 8. So 8 times 8 times 8 will be 512 inches cubed. This is a really good one to use a calculator because you have a decimal here, so this might be a little more tough to do in your head, but you guys get the idea, right? If you know that the formula for calculating volume is length times width times height, you only need one dimension. 5.5 times 5.5 times 5.5. It's going to give us, using a calculator, I'll do a little place value review for you here too, 166 and 375 hundredths cubed. So that might be a good calculator one. But again, it's the idea of length times width times height. So now we go to rectangularism. And you see with a rectangular prism, now we have different dimensions because with a rectangle, the dimensions are going to be different, right? So here's the fish tank analogy that I was talking about earlier. So the formula is the same, doesn't change. It's length times width times height. So 6 times 3 times 4. My answer is 72 centimeters cubed because I have those 3 measurements. This one I think I have a gaming console. All right, and a manufacturer might say, well, how much data can we fit into a certain gaming console? That might be a modern analogy that you could use with it, okay? And same formula. Length, 3, width, 2, height, 8, for a total of 48 centimeters cubed. And for this one here, if you want to put the video on pause and try one on your own, you can do so right now. Why I was quiet during that. I guess if you're on pause, you can't hear me, but I'm new to this. So same idea, right, guys? It's once you figure out the formula of volume, length times width times height, 12 times 2, which is 24. 24 times 2. So if you wanted to, use a calculator. Okay, you're not sure on one of them. So you go, okay, Mr. Griffin, 24 times 2 equals 48 centimeters cubed. Same answer, just a different configuration here, right? So that's a good example as well. If you did want some extra practice with this, so this is from our textbook at school. And here you see, what I like about this is you do get to see the different units of measurement. So if you want to use millimeters, right? So there's one with millimeters. It also allows you to estimate, which is good, okay? This is what builders might do in a job, okay? They're trying to figure out how much materials are needed. Estimating is good practice. So you estimate these shapes before you multiply them, okay? 1 times 3 times 2, we know it's going to be 6 centimeters cubed is our answer. All right, bigger number here. I might want to use a calculator for this millimeters object. But here you have an example of the cube, right, with all the same, 22 times 22 times 22. So this might be good extra practice for you. It's not on the week at a glance. You don't have to do it, but it could be good practice for you for volume. Now, the formula does change when we start to deal with triangular 3D shapes. But for now, let's just focus on one thing at a time. So the formula for measuring volume is length times width times height, and it's measured in cubes, centimeters, etc. So that's lesson back, probably question on this. And yeah, and we'll keep going. Hope you're enjoying this. Think of a good sign off. Mr. Griffin out.